The reality, Master Arson, is I needed a chatbot that actually works. If I want to ban the word fat, people shouldn't be able to type in FAATT and it still gets by. No. If I type in fat, I want a bot to ban FAT, FATT, FAAAATT, FAAAAAT, and every other combination that says fat. And that's the only way that I'm going to get a proper timeout bot. If you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. Timeouts will be for the same words, except it will actually work. So let's say I wanted a timeout if you say the word penis. Well, everybody just writes PENISS. They just add an S, and then boom, it shows up. Wrong. No more. I'll have rules about it having to be alphanumerical, auto timeout for multiple letters in a row in order to get past a ban word. If it contains the letters in a ban word or 80% match, it's auto timeout. So it will be intelligent, unlike Nightbot. It won't be able to be circumvented or avoided. And you won't be able to use leet speak or numbers in words. It will automatically time you out if you wrote like P3NIS. It would be an auto timeout. So it will be intelligent in many ways, preventing all of the common ways of circumventing the timeout words. That will make the bot timeout words actually mean something, actually effective. And what's great is if people come up with words like penor, I could add that, or it's got PEN, it doesn't have IS, so I don't know. I can add more sophistication over time. Nightbot's completely retarded when it comes to detecting a word. Another problem is people can just write all the words without spaces or with just hyphens in between. There are so many ways to circumvent, and it's ridiculous. If there's a period, a new word begins, and he needs to evaluate each word with periods as separators. It can't just, or it needs to combine all of them with the period to evaluate a longer word. That's all the ways people can come up with to try to circumvent it. You can then create algorithms to adjust for. Well, unlike with Nightbot, I can actually allow for non-offensive uses of a certain word. So, for example, I could add more conditions like only ban the word fat if it says something like this streamer is fat or Larry is fat. But if they say I'm eating a fat hamburger, then allow it. So I could try to add more sophistication and exceptions, which you can't do with Nightbot. It's not really going to be a noticeable change to you guys. It will just make my existing system actually work as intended, unlike Nightbot's crappy implementation. It's going to be the same as Nightbot, it's just going to actually work, that's all. That's my intention. I want to know that if I add any word I want to Nightbot's list, that people will get timed out for saying that word. I don't care if you add hyphen hyphen before and after the word. I don't care if you add spaces in between the word. It should actually just intelligently work as intended. That's all I'm doing here. Alright. Be that way. I'll give up my parental rights. Not like I have a choice. I guess I could try to sue for custody, but I don't want the scandal. what I'm doing right now is far-reaching implications because I'm creating a desktop app that can literally talk to Twitch's servers and then listen to Twitch's server's response. It's talking to a server. And what that means is the same app would form the foundation for my own browser. Or in other words, my own application that can talk to any server then and pull information that's spoken back to this application from said server. So my app could say, hey Google, send me your homepage, google.com. And Google would respond thinking it's a browser, and treat it like a browser. Here's the Google image, and here's the format, here's our HTML page, here's our cascading style sheet, here's this and that, here's our form, the search form where you click in your search and press enter, here's the form, here's any ads we want to play, and the address to those. So I'll receive all this information back to display the web page. But my app won't display that web page. It will just gain the information contained on that web page, and then it can read all that text and parse out whatever information it's looking for, or interact by sending back to Google a form response with a post request saying like enter in a search for car, and then Google will then return a search result page with car as the search query, which my app will be listening for, and it will then be able to parse out that page. So in other words, I'll be able to create my own web crawler that can basically interact with the internet at large. It can get into forums. It can register email addresses. It can register forum accounts. It can go on people's YouTube channels and post comments. It can go on people's Twitch accounts and send them messages. So if I wanted to advertise, I could create a nice spam bot that would spam forums. It could spam YouTube channels. Let's say I create a YouTube video and it's about treating poison ivy. I could have this bot then go on to every forum related to poison ivy where there's posts, and it can register for that forum, and it can post my video link saying like, hey guys, I see you're discussing poison ivy and I've come up with a really great DIY method for treating poison ivy, and here's a link to my video. And it can go post that on every website that's discussing poison ivy as returned through its search using Google as its search engine. So I could create an intelligent AI bot that would basically spam advertise my YouTube channel videos. That's just one example. So the power is immense. And that's basically what I'll be capable of doing using this code base, which is my code base for creating a bot that can monitor or mod my Twitch channel. So that's why I'm giggling, because I'm realizing the implications of this are huge. It's going to unlock a lot of capabilities that I've wanted for a long time, relating to not Twitch mod botting, but related to advertising potential. You know, another reason why this code is important for future is because my robot, Adam, will need to be able to read my Twitch chat. His integration into Twitch chat is very important because you guys will need to be. I mean, he can actually look at my monitor and read what you're saying based on his computer vision or image recognition software, which I've already created. However, it would be a lot easier for him just to be able to tap directly into the IRC client or the chat server and read in plain text what you guys are saying, so he doesn't have to actually visually see the words you're saying, convert those pixels into actual words using image recognition algorithms, and then know what you said. The same way a human would read chat. It doesn't need to read it like a human would read it with his eyes. So he can be looking away from chat and knowing what you're saying without actually looking at chat. And I think that's preferable. Um, and this way, he'll be able to respond to chat and also perform actions requested by chat. So let's say somebody in chat subscribes. Well, as he can read chat, he would read, okay, we got a subscriber, and he can thank the subscriber. He can be like, Master Arson, thanks for the 2 month subscription. So the robot will actually say that out loud. Um, or you guys could say, hey Adam, let's see you pick your nose. And Adam will say, I find that to be very immature. However, um, I don't see any reason why not. So he'll pick his nose, and then you guys can all laugh. So that type of interaction will be fun and make the bot more entertaining. You guys can find out by asking him to do different things. You can find out what all he can do, and so I feel like a lot of people would enjoy that. And this all plays into that. This code base I'll be able to use for that. If connection breaks, I just assume get a new token. Just start over, right? That shouldn't be a problem, right? I don't think so.